Hey, 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 hey. Live, 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 live. We're live with nobody on. But that's okay. Let's make sure we have sound here. Let's go to my stream. That's okay. Let's make sure we have sound. Okay, we do have sound. We do have sound, and we do have everything else going. Let's see. Super chat. That does work. Look at that. And our banners should be working. There we go. Look at that. Hey, Rex Waldy, how are you? Well, we are just going to get a print here. We got this, we got the Voron all finished up. We did some final things this afternoon whilst on Jerry's stream. No, I did it before Jerry. I don't know when I did it, but we did it. I'm going to move it over to its home, and we are going to move it from here. And I have cleared, hang on, let me move this camera over. Where are you, camera? So if I zoom you out and move you over this way, look at that, there we go. We're going to move it to its new home, which is going to be right here, right beside the Flash Forge. Of course, leaving enough room for me to open the Flash Forge door and get filament in and out of there. But Voron 2.4 is going to live right here. We actually did some cleaning up today. So if I can move this guy back over this way again, just like that, there we go. So we're going to get her unplugged. Right now it's plugged in, turned on. So I'm going to get her unplugged and move it over. And that way I have my bench clear to do whatever it is I'm going to do next, which I don't know. Which I really don't know. So let's go ahead and move it. We're going to move a Voron. Unplugged. I got the handles on top. Let's see how I can see. Let's see if I can handle this beast. There it is. In its new home, I have room, and I can come this way a little. As long as I have room over here to get into the filament for the Flash Forge, which I do. There we go. Now I need to, and look, now I have all this room on the bench, this whole empty bench to do whatever I need to do. And what we'll pull over here now we are going to put a little 01 here that I've yet to get running. I've got to work on the hot end on this guy a little bit. I think it's running. I don't recall if this is running proper or not, but we can find out. So meantime, I'm going to go ahead and switch this camera over to here for a minute, and I'm going to find the plug. I need to find a plug long enough to reach. If I raise that camera a little bit, I got some power bars back here. I don't know. Let's see. Let's move all these Linktree Tech boxes out of the way. I have a power strip right here. If I plug that in, oh yeah, that'll fit to the back of the Voron easily. Let's go ahead and give you some power. There and there. Oh. And turn you back on. There we go. We have power. It's in a good spot to change filament. That's awesome. 2 people, Rex and somebody else. I know Nero's streaming tonight as well, so I'm not going to get too many people watching, which is okay. Perfectly fine. So I think since I moved it and this is its home, we're going to run input shaper once more. So let's do that. So now I can actually give it a camera, kind of its own camera here. There we go. We're fired up. Let's see. Let's see what this camera looks like. Oh, that's zoomed in way too much. Let's zoom out a bit. There we go. I'm going to do a, I'm going to run a 200%, 2 or 300% clockwork, Clockspring vase right now. I've got the file. I've got the red filament on. We're running Polymaker PLA red. We're going to open the doors because, we don't want the temperature to get too hot in there with PLA. And I'm going to run a larger print right now. I ran the test cube earlier. So I ran, let me focus that a bit better. We got the Nevermore filter in there and hooked up. We just don't have the filter material in there, that's all. Oops. There we go. So the Nevermore is hooked up. It's actually the back side of the filter with the fans is actually attached to these rails. I was able to do it without removing the bed. I found a strategic way to do it, and I did it. And then we have our back venting fan, which is up in here. You can't see it right yet. We got a fan today. We picked up a couple fans. I got one because I'm likely going to need one for the Trident build. That was those big, where did I put the second one? Yeah, these guys here. This is the big, this is a 6020. So my local guy dropped these off to me today. So we've put one of those on the back on the venting fan on this thing. Actually, if I go to this main camera and turn it a little bit, there we go. Now we can get the Voron in the picture on the main screen. That actually works out really well. Yeah, so yeah, the vent fan, which is on the back here, is on there. Input shaping went great. We're going to do, Crapstar, we're going to do input shaping again today because I just moved it to its, it's probably one of its more permanent homes. So let me move my chair in here and keep that camera kind of back there for when we start a print. But yeah, it went well. Here, let me pull this camera down. And I'll show you what we did today. So let me get the, so this was, can I focus on this close? Let's just see. With the red filament, this is kind of awkward. Hang on one second here, guys. Sorry. Bear with me. Bear with me. There we go. That's what I wanted it to do. So there we go. So this is kind of awkward, but this is the print. Now we're not quite focused. Oh man, the red is hard to see in there, isn't it? But this was the print. That's terrible. Let's move that camera out of the way. Let's maybe try this one. See if this one's any better. This one's better. If we can get it to focus. Come on. Why am I having so much trouble getting this red to show up? Could be my lighting, but this was my test print we just ran today after we did. Oh man. There it is. You can kind of see the surface there. Okay, so this was run just today after we did input shaper yesterday. Now, if I hold them side by side, on the left was pre-tuning, and they look pretty good. I mean, there's some minor differences in the ringing, and the right-hand side is after tuning, and we ran it today. So you can kind of see a little bit. So you can see a bit of ringing on this side, especially, and the ringing has gone away. There's a noticeable difference in the top finish, in the top surface. It's hard to see on the camera with this color filament. And then our bottoms, of course, I used a smooth bed today, and this one was with the textured bed. So, yeah. So, yeah, it's a really hard filament to show off in the camera. Anyways. But yeah, right there you can see a big difference. If you look over by the Y and then the wall that's going up from the Y, you can see a big difference between pre-tune and post-tune. So, yeah. Anyways, it did turn out great. Yeah, we've done pressure advance. One thing I forgot when I ran this test cube today post-tuning is I didn't adjust my flow rate, or my, what was that called? I did not adjust my extrusion multiplier. I left it at 1 and I should have had it at 0.94, which makes, or 0.96. No, it was 0.96 we have to have that extrusion multiplier at, which makes sense because we decided an extrusion multiplier 0.96 because this measures 30.13 millimeters and it should be 30. So that extrusion multiplier being up that little bit higher, I think would have accounted for that extra 0.13 in width because we're extruding a little too much filament. So only 2 of yous on here right now. That's all right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do another, we'll do another what am I thinking? Sorry, I'm looking at one thing and thinking of another thing. Let me just make sure that we're up and running. We are up and running. Bear with me 2 seconds here. Where am I looking? I got too many windows open here. Just trying to find that command. I had the window open yesterday. Anyways, we'll find it. Anyways, we're going to do input shaper again. Hey, Andrew Osmond, how are you? This was an LDO kit, this one. So I'm going to bring I'm going to home the printer. We'll get it set up to do another input shaper since it's sitting where it's going to sit for a good little while. It's going to sit here. Let's go ahead and home it. We'll do input shaper again, and then it'll basically stay where it is right now for the time being. Yeah, this was LDO. Great kit. Okay, I'm going to bring this up to the front so that I can actually reach the plug. Did this other camera go way out of focus? No, we're okay there. So we're going to pull out our little input shaper wire, and we are going to plug it in. And we learned last night that this goes in the front. Oh no, this goes in the back. This goes like this. Come on. It goes in there just like that. We'll test to make sure that it's actually reading it. Dimensional accuracy on the cube was off by a little bit, but I think, as I say, I had the oh, that's the wrong window. What am I doing here? It was off by a bit, but my extrusion multiplier was a bit too high, which kind of makes sense. So the cube should be 30 millimeters cubed. and it is actually that right there. I'm measuring 30.02. On this side, I'm measuring 30.13. Hang on, I think that's got to be wrong. 30.06, 30.13. And on the height, I'm getting 30.07. So I'm a little bit big on the, let's see, this is the X, 30.10. Oh no, so on the X, sorry, 30.05. On the Y, 30.17. I'm a little bigger on the Y. And on the Z, I'm at 30.07. So, but I had my extrusion multiplier too high. Okay, so, oh man, I just forget these commands, so I'm going to have to look that up real quick. I had the window open yesterday. What did I do with it? Okay, I'm just going to look it up here again. There we go. There we go. So I'm just going to scroll down. I just want to find that command here real quick. Accelerometer query, that's what I'm looking for. Copy, paste it in, and we'll make sure the accelerometer's not. No, so it's not finding it. I've obviously got it plugged in wrong. We obviously have to go this way. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, that up arrow thing. There we go. And we are in right. I just had, again, I just have to remember which way the plug goes in. I had it in backwards. Okay, so let's go. And we are going to go all the way down to shaper calibrate. Okay. There we go. We're running shaper calibrate now. It's gone to the center of the bed. And we'll get it all calibrated and save it, and then we'll run a vase. We will run a Clockspring vase. Let me see if that actually did come in. I emailed myself the file, and it didn't come in. It did not come in. Okay. So let me send that to myself again. Let me send that to myself one more time. Done. So let's send it to me. Email. I think because it was a big file. There we go. And we will send it and send, and let's do mail drop since it's a bigger file, 40 meg file. So you want to see the main sale screen? Yes. There we are, and I'll open the console so you can see what's going on here, and I'll zoom in a little bit here for you. Oops, it's a little bit too far zoomed in. There you go. See if we come up with the same numbers, similar numbers that we did yesterday. First try yesterday, there was an issue with the Y, but I think I had bumped the door or something, so. Okay, let's see if that mail comes in for me. There it is, and download. Let's go ahead and download my attachment, and download. It's called the Resplendence Vase. It is a vase mode print. There we go. Finished the X, now we're doing the Y. And meantime, I'm going to look and see if that STL came in for me. And there it is right there. Perfect. So once we finish setting this up, we'll start a print of that vase. I have to play with my fan configurations because the Nevermore fan and the exhaust fan are coming on as soon as the print starts, rather than waiting for the bed to heat up. So we got to go into the I got to go into the config file and figure out what's going there. Hot end, I've gone with the Voron Revo. Let's see, do I have any tunes I can play in here? Oh, a little bit. One 113, I think it goes up to 133. And I've got a 0.4 nozzle on that right now. Actually, I should change to the 0.6 nozzle. Nah, I'll leave the 0.4 on. Okay, here we go. Let's see what results we come up with. 11,400 with MZV. And let's see what it suggested. Recommended MZV. Okay, that's for the X, and for the Y, recommended MZV. Yeah, and then we have suggested max acceleration for the MZV, 16,000. Suggested max acceleration for the X is, where are we here? MZV for the X is 11,400. So that's a little bit higher accelerations than yesterday. But I think because the bench I put it on is a little more solid than the bench definitely. See, the bench we put it on yesterday, I can wiggle. The bench it's on now is a lot more solid, which kind of makes more sense. So I can probably boost my acceleration to 11,000 because we've got a suggested of 11,400 on the X, and we have a suggested of 11,000, or sorry, on the Y of 16,100. So I can probably boost my acceleration. So I'm going to save config right there. And restart, go to the dashboard. Let's go to the machine, and let's go to my printer config. Oh, there it is right up here. Let's find our acceleration, and let's change our acceleration to 11,000. Okay. And I think we're good to go with the rest. Okay. $24 by $24 paver from your hardware store for $10 and put a Voron on it. Super stable. Yeah. Well, I have a guy that works for a concrete company. He would give me one. Maybe that's a good idea. I'll check with him. Yeah. He can give me one. Oh, I don't like that music. Sorry. I don't know what. Where's? Anyways, doesn't matter. Okay, so we should be good to go. Dashboard. Let me zoom out a little bit here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go find the. Let me open the slicer. Let me get rid of the cube here. Okay, now the music's skipping. Okay, let me find the file. Let me find the vase. Oh, I put it on my desktop. Aha. There it is right there. This is what we're going to print. Is it just me or is that music skipping for everybody? That's annoying. I'm just going to stop it. I'll talk. I'll make sure I talk so we don't have to listen to music. It's ridiculous. Okay. So how big can I go? Let's go. Let's right mouse click. Let's go fill bed with instance, set number of instances. I should be able to fix scale to print volume. So that I can go pretty big one there. So that's scaled to 176%. Let's go down to 160 just to keep it reasonable. Okay. And then we want print settings. We want vase mode. So we have one perimeter. We'll do 5 bottom layers, 0 top, which is fine to go with that. And wall thickness, 0.76. And we are going to go with a base layer height of 0.2, first layer height of, I'm going to go 0.25, get a little bit more oomph on the bottom so that we don't pop off. And I think we're okay. There's no infill. We have a skirt, which is fine. Our speed is our default at infill speed 200, default speed 100. Our accelerations are all good. We don't have to worry about infill. There is no infill. It's just spiral. Okay, filament settings should be fine. We're at 215 and 70. Let's see how long it says it's going to take to do this. Probably an hour and 12 minutes. Could be wrong. No, it's going to be longer than that. 7 hours. Okay, that's a little high for a vase print mode. 7 hours is a little high, I think, because I've made it so big. I do not want that to run for 7 hours. Let's just do 120%. That's 12%. That's a little small. That's a little small. Let's slice it and see how long it is. We just go a little bigger than saying, "Hey, Zenbender, how are you?" This is going to be too long as well. 5 hours. No, I don't want to do a 5-hour print right now. Why is that so see-through on top? Well, I think it's just showing. Oh, okay, because it's just showing all the layer lines. And we're not squished so much. I just want a print of vase. I don't want a 5-hour print though. Three hours. That's still too long. Maybe I need to speed it up. Perimeter speed. Let's speed up the perimeter to 200. We don't have any infill. So we don't need to worry about infill. Bridge speed, gap speed, default speed. Default speed is locked for some reason. Default speed is locked. Why are you locked? I can always speed it up as I print it. Okay, let's go ahead and slice it like this. Heck, let's do it at 100%. Let's slice it as is. It should not take 3 hours to print this vase. 4 hours. It should not in vase mode. And we're going to export it, and we'll just run it really fast. Vase. Let's see what happens. Oh, got to unplug these. So let's unplug this cable first so I don't try and print with that cable in. There we go. We'll put this away. Okay. Let's get over here and let's go ahead and print. See, right away, my Nevermore fan comes on. My exhaust fan comes on. They should not come on until it reaches temperature. So something in the config is making those fans come on. Oh, default is 100, so everything is related in percent. Oh, makes sense. Okay, makes sense. So we moved and we redid the input shaper, Zen, and able to up our acceleration to 11,000. It's a much more stable surface that it's on right now. So it came up with the MZV on the X at 11,400 and on the Y at 16,100. So definitely a much solider surface that it's on. So yeah, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, this fan is on right now, and I thought I had it set in the config to not come on till the bed hits 70 or 80. So, anyways, not a big deal. It's better on than not. There's no filters, no charcoal in there, anyways, right now. So, and then the back exhaust fan is on as well. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. That makes perfect sense. Well, it looks still a little out of focus to me. It could just be my eyes. There we are. That is turn off temp. Oh, turn off temperature. Oh, I get it. Okay. But it just comes on anyways when I start a print. Okay, makes sense. But it works. I wired up the Nevermore today, and I wired up the back fan because we got some fans in from my supplier today, and so we hooked up the big exhaust fan on the back, wired them up to the board, went in and changed the pins, and they work fine. Hey, Dominic, the Positron V3 printer kits are available for pre-order. They will ship about a month after they get 45 orders at $8.25. Positron V3. Let me look that up. Positron V3. See what they are. Positron 3D, home of the Positron printer. Is that the that's the upside down one? Oh, that's the one that LDO is going to put out a kit for that too, aren't they? With Nevermore, you should redo the bed pad with it on. What do you mean redo the bed pad? Oh, the PID. The bed PID. Oh, okay. I will do that afterwards. And I actually managed to, without taking the bed off, I managed to actually attach it to the rails. So all I did is I took the filter part out, I put the fans in, I put the T-nuts in the rails up front, I screwed in the screws in from the fan portion, left them a little bit loose, pushed it back as far as it needed to go, pulled this back out, reached in with my hex keys and tightened them on. So it worked really well. Okay, so the positron, 825. That's a lot of money. I'm going to hold out because I'm going to see if I can get one sent out for review. But there's no rush on that at all. I have so much work to do and so many things to do before I even consider bringing something else in. That's a cool looking printer though. That's very cool. Now, is positron, is that the same one that LDO was talking about that they had at Earth? It looks just like it. Anyways, that's pretty cool. No full kit yet. Okay, they'll come out with a full kit. Okay, my nozzle tip seems clean, but I'm going to give it a wipe just in case. And this thing, I have yet to adjust the Z offset. I ran the Voron cube after we did all the tuning and everything, and it looks really, really good. Bottom layer is absolutely perfect. I forgot to adjust my I forgot what was it I forgot to adjust, and the cube's just a hair bigger than it should be. But I had forgot to adjust my oh man, I can never remember the names of these things just because it's me. My extrusion multiplier, I left it at 1 instead of 0.96 like we calculated it to be for this hot end. So I've got it back to 9.6 for this print, so we're going to see what happens. So we'll see what happens here. I don't know what the whole thing about that about the positron and the upside down, it's the fact that it's a portable printer that will fit in the and it'll fit in a filament box, fully packed. And then I think the only way to make one that small and that compact and portable is to have it print upside down for some reason. But that's the whole thing. It'll fit in a filament box. And you can take it wherever you want. You set it up and you print. I would hope that it's going to be portable so that you can carry it around and do it in print. But obviously you have to have some sort of a spool holder, because if you put it in a filament box, you're screwed for putting your filament in. So unless they have mini rolls of filament. So how come I got a scratch on my glasses? Oh, I hate that. Let me get a wipe. Oh. Well, I've been looking for an excuse to buy some new glasses, so. Oh, that's annoying. Didn't get much sleep. I get tired. Getting old and tired. So over here, we've got, oops, I turned that camera around. What I'm going to work on in the interim until the Trident comes in, I'm going to get this second 0.1 up and printing. I'm having an issue of some sort with the hot end. I don't remember my issue, but I'm going to fire it up later and see what's going on with it. So, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good with sleep, but I don't sleep well, period, overall. So just the nature of the beast. What I'm looking forward to is one of these days I've got to haul this guy, Rat Rig. I've got to haul Rat Rig over to my bench to do the upgrade to the vCore 3.1. That's going to be fun. I can lift it. It's heavy. So, but I got to print the parts first. That's another project down the road. I should actually try printing another one of these guys on the Voron here. This one was printed on the FL Sun SR, and it's terrible. Well, printed okay, but it's terrible layer lines. They're awful. So that printer needs some major adjustment. That printer needs clipper is what it needs. So he's just sitting on my desk because it's Halloweenish time. So yeah, there we go. And I think I was looking at the bill of materials for the Trident from LDO, and I believe it has a 5-inch touchscreen. I think it has the 5-inch Voron screen for it, or no, a 5-inch Big Tree Tech touchscreen, which is pretty cool. Very cool. So how's everybody's Saturday? There's 12 of you hanging out with me. Nero streaming. He's probably a little more exciting, but that's okay. 4.3. Oh, the touchscreen? Trident only. Okay, cool. What are we doing now? Oh, we're getting ready to print now. Nozzle's heating. Okay, let's see. We'll see if we can crank the speed up on this once we get it going. And see if we can't beat that estimated 3-hour print time. Mind you, it is in vase mode, so we should be able to go pretty quick. And there goes that perfect purge line. Hey, SBC 3D. We have put the Voron in its permanent home, well, semi-permanent home for now. We redid the input shaper, and now we're printing a Clockspring vase. Vase. Vase, vase, vose. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that first layer is, I mean, the clicky thing with the Calibrate Z thing is the best thing you could do to one of these things. Oh, yeah, it's looking good. So once we get this all going, vars, there we go. Once we get this all up and going, I've got to make a decision. So I had some rather interesting comments last night. So anyways, I need to pick the colors for the Trident build. Works good up until it doesn't, yes. How we say it in the UK, vars. And put your flowers in the vase. I've got red ABS, similar to this. I've got red ABS coming for me courtesy of Matter 3D here in Canada. They're going to donate the red ABS for my Trident build. and I need to pick a second color. Okay. I don't, and then the red is either going to be the main color or the accent color. I was thinking red and yellow. Viars. I was thinking red and yellow. What do you guys think of a red and yellow trident with a space gray frame? Okay. And would you use the red as the main color or the yellow as the main color? Or what else would you go with red? I don't want to do black. Nothing against black ABS, but everybody does black in an accent color. So, look at that thing print. Red and yellow, right? That would sort of be like McDonald's colors, wouldn't it? Yeah, because I've got yellow. I got yellow ABS. So Zen, would you make red, white and red? Yeah, but I've been told, Zenbender mentioned it, and somebody else mentioned it too, that white ABS is not the best to go with. Anything but white. Don the Trident. So would you go red as the main color, or would you go yellow as the main color and red accents, or red main with yellow accents? I think red main with yellow accents. But yellow would be so bold and beautiful with red. It's the Polymaker yellow, and it would be the ABS red as a matte. So imagine a shinier yellow with a nice matte red accents on it. Would look so cool. It would look so cool. I've been invited to join the community group by Sophia Go called All for Laser. Interesting. Red main, blue accents with gray frame. Blue accents. Okay, red and blue. Red main would look great, wouldn't it? It's a matte red, but apparently it looks really sharp. Use this color configurator. Are you going to point a link? You're going to put a link, aren't you? More red, yellow accent. Yeah. More red. Because my DeWitt color is red. DeWitt 3D is red. Canadian flag is red and white. My blood that I bleed on stream sometimes is red. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Oh, the bottom of that looks just beautiful. See if I can zoom in a bit. Here we go. There we are. Red and blue USA, USA. Come on. I'm in Canada. Red and blue would be too USA-ish. I mean, I could go all out obnoxious and go green and red. Make it Christmassy. But I might, I don't know. The red and yellow seems okay, but we'll see. Oh, Canada. Yeah, see, that's doing the vase mode rather slow. Let's crank it a bit. Let's not go too much. Let's go 150. There we go. Let's see if 150, if it'll keep up with it. Did the link come through? No. No, we don't have a link. I'll do something temporary, and let's see if I can get you to put the link up. Okay, try the link again. Try the link again, Crapstar. Zenbender can post links. Crapstar, you should be able to post a link now. There we are. And let me open it. "3D printer color configurator." Holy crap. Voron color configurator. Welcome to Voron color configurator. Oh my goodness. Who knew that there was a whole... Okay, I'll have a look at that after, but thank you for the link. Who knew that there was a whole section dedicated to color configuration? How to use the color configurator. Recommended. Oh my goodness, look at this. Okay, I'm going to have a look at that and see. That's interesting. I guess that prevents people from making ugly printers. Yep. Well, so far, the added speed didn't do anything to change it, so let's crank it up a bit more. Let's go from 150 to 200%. There we go. Now we're moving. See if we can bring that 3 hours down to 2 or to 1. Oh yeah, that's keeping up with it, no problem. Hey, Joe Velasco, hello, welcome, welcome. Do I dare go beyond 200? It's not about speed, it's about quality, but, you know. Is there, I want to find, there's a test where you can test like a 4-corner and a center level for your bed. Let me see, I think that is in the Voron files. Let me have a peek and see. I think it might be with the files that I downloaded. Let me look. Voron 2.4, 2.4 are 2 STLs, and then test prints. Test print, heat set practice, filament card, thread test. No, it's not there. Okay, let me see if I can find it. You guys know the one I mean. It's a 4-corner. Tests all the corners of your bed, and I think the center. Oh, my dog is barking just at anything that moves up there. But there's nobody else home. You come down here, you're dead meat. What are you barking at up there? Hey, come here. Come here, you little chicken shit. Let me look and see if I can find that test. I'm going to call it the Voron 4-corner test print. That's what I'm looking it up as. Bed leveling and first layer squish. No, that's not what I want. Maybe it's under the Andrew Ellis tuning guide. Maybe that's where I saw it. Miscellaneous. I don't see it. Somewhere out there. Just throw 9 cubes in the slicer. The same Z as my first layer height, 30 by 30, and spread them out. Oh, that's easy enough to do. That's easy enough to do. Oh, this thing's printing pretty quick now. And it looks pretty good. What are you doing down here, you little mutt? And it looks pretty good. Okay. Well, I've got the test cube, so let me see. So what you're saying to do, let me open Super Slicer. Super Slicer. And let me get rid of the vase, the vase, or whatever we call it now here in Canada and England and the United States of America. To do Voron Design Cube. Let's repeat you 9 times, and then we're just going to print the first layer. Okay, and let's distribute you amongst the bed. Let's go ahead and do a top-down view. Okay. One. Oh, come on. Why do you keep auto I don't want you to auto-distribute. Stop it. Oh, I see what you're doing. There we go. 9 distributed cubes on the bed. 4 corners. Let's go closer to the corners. Stop moving. I don't want you to move in relative to anything. And that way we can test the corners. Test everything. There we go. And you go there. You go there. You go in the middle of the bed. You go in the middle of the bed. You go in the middle of the bed. There we go. A moron builds a moron. That's funny. I like that, Crapstar. I'll watch if you do. And then set them 30, 30, 0, 25. What? 30, 30, 0.25. No, I was the first. Okay, so now if I do that, I only want to print the first. How do I tell it I only want to print the first 2 layers? Super Slicer, you must have a way. I could force it to do a color change. That way it'll pause after the first 2 layers. Set them to your first layer height. Set in the slicer. Set them to my first layer height set in the slicer. Set them to my first layer height. Huh? I'm dumb that way. Let's see. Or I could just print them and let it do all 9 of them and then stop it. That way I don't have to think. Only takes 8 hours to print 9 cubes. Look at that. Okay, there we go. I think that worked. Yeah, there we go. So basically, they're not full squares because I did the Voron cube, but there's basically, we're going to print that. Not perfect, but we're going to print that. See what happens. Print settings, slicing. Then on the right, it's the third entry. Oh, okay. Printer settings. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can just, oh, yeah. I forgot I can add a cube. Let's get rid of these things then. I forgot I can add a cube. Add shape, add a box. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. I did print a Voron cube for comparison, Joe. I'll show you that after, and it came out much nicer. I printed that earlier while I was on Jerry's stream. Okay. Okay, I totally forgot I could just do a random shape on the build plate. I need to learn these gosh darn things. Okay, so we put 9 of them. We'll spread them out. Let's spread the 9 cubes out again. That way I get a full solid cube. There we go. There we are. Jerry. Oh, wrong show. Print settings. Slicing. Then on the right, it's the third entry. Oh, okay. On the right, 1, 2, third entry. Slice resolution. Slicing, no, that's not what we want. Mm-hmm. Third entry on slicing under print settings is slice resolution. First layer height is what I want. Oh, and I want to set my first layer height. Right now it's set to 0.25. Yeah, it's set to 0.25 right now for my first layer height. That should be good. YouTube does not allow. Yes, I know. Okay. Supersizer does have built-in calibration models. Actually, I should try one of those after this. I'm going to actually, let's see. Let's speed this vase up even more. Come on, mouse. Let's go ahead and speed this up to 300%. Yeah, let's see if it'll keep up with it. Going around much quicker. The retraction one is good. Okay, so we've got the 9 cubes laid out. We got our first layer height of 0.25. We should be all good. Let's go here. Let's slice it. And then we will drop Oh, there we go. Right there. Okay, we have some nice solid squares to print now. Next. Right there. Oops. Yes, we've done pressure advance, and we did resonance tuning. And I actually did resonance tuning when I moved the printer here to its new location. We redid the resonance tuning. And it allowed me a little faster acceleration because it's a much more stable much more stable bench. Wow. Speeding that up to 300% didn't seem to phase the quality at all. So right now we're running at, well, we're only running, mind you, at, it's only hitting 45 millimeters a second. But it is going faster than it was before, for sure. Let's see if I can crank it a little bit more. It's only going to go so fast. Oh, now we're hitting 60 millimeters a second. There we go. Oh yeah, it's still, okay, we're going to go even faster. Okay, now we're hitting 75 millimeters a second. Okay. Oh, because of my outer wall accelerations. Okay. Let's go to 600%. And there we go. Now we're hitting 90 millimeters a second. Yeah, we're hitting 90 now. And it is doing just fine. Let's see if I can get it up to 100. Yeah, 102. Okay, we're at 100 millimeters a second now. Every turn keeps it down, but our straightaways are going faster now. That is still going pretty dang fast. And we've knocked our print time down from almost 4 hours down to an hour and a half, if that. %800. No, I think that's as fast as it's going to go. 100 millimeters a second is the fastest it's going to hit. Yeah, it's because there's too many complex corners. My flow rate is where is my flow rate here? My flow rate is from, boy, it's here. Let me switch the screens here. So my flow rate is going right here. Oops. From maximum it's hitting is 6.9. I mean, of course, it's bouncing around with the speed. But the print's still looking good. That. Plenty of headroom there. Okay. Oh, I don't have my case light on. Turn my case light on. Let's make it brighter. Too bad you cannot dynamically change accelerations, as each turn has a G-code line setting it so if you change it, the next turn will reset it to what it is in G-code. Oh, I see. Okay. That's above my head. Huh. All I know is it's going a little quicker. And I don't think I'm going to be able to speed that up anymore right now. Mm-hmm. Let's see. The ETA right now is 1 hour and 25 minutes, but that's down from almost 4 hours. It's been going for 40 minutes. 21:26. Yeah, so no, according to that, oh, I see. Yeah, no. It's not going to be that. I don't think it's going to be that long. Let's just see. And it still looks really good. I'm sure I'd get away with going faster. But I'm pretty sure regardless of how fast I speed it up, it's not going to affect the speed now. There, I'm at 1,000% based on my slicer, and I'm still only hitting a maximum of 109 in the straightaways. Yeah. It's going a lot faster than my other printers would, though, I'll tell you that. Hey, Tron, yes, it's up and running. It's finished, running, tuned. Filters all put in, fans all hooked up. This is blowing warm air now. It is working beautifully. It is enclosed. Yes, I can close the doors. Not that I want to because it's running PLA. Yep, fully enclosed. Look at that. But we'll leave the doors open because we're running PLA. I am super stoked. I love this printer. Yeah, I'm going to be printing ABS for my Voron Trident build on this printer. So that'll be like a true PIB, printed PIF. It'll be like a true PIF thing, except I'm piffing for myself. And I'm going to charge myself through the nose for my PIF parts. Because from what I understand, to be a part of the PIF program, you have to print your parts on a Voron. But I don't know if I'm going to join the PIF program. Maybe I could for Canada, I suppose. I don't know how many PIFers there are in Canada. Is that a term, PIFer? $250. That's what they offered to send me, and I'm not going to say no. What do I like more about this printer compared to my Rat Rig or other printers? Well, compared to my other printers, it just prints a whole lot nicer. It's much easier to control. It's easier to tune, when you're comparing it to different ones. My Prusa still prints really well, but Prusa could use some clipperizing, I guess. I like it better than the rat rig in the sense that it's enclosed. Now I can always enclose the rat rig, but I don't think I need to. The build was a little easier than it was sort of an equivalent build to the rat rig, but a little easier in the sense that I didn't have to do a lot of preparing cables and wires, because the Voron kits, the LDO kits, give you really, really good wires that are already cut to length and already crimped and all that stuff. Print it forward or print it, yeah, PIF, print it forward. PIP or pimp. I'm going to pimp them. But really, the rat rig's a 500 millimeter build. You can't get a Voron in a 500 millimeter. The rat rig's, of course, because it's a 500 millimeter, it's bigger extrusions. They're 30 by 30s. These are 20 by 20s. The rat rig has wider belts. These are 9s, I believe, or these 6s, and the rat rigs are 9s, or is it 9s and 12s? Anyways, the belts are bigger on the rat rig. Rat rig had a few issues. That's why we're doing the 3.1 upgrade. Right now, it's a VCore 3. I've got the upgrade kit to make it a 3.1. They've improved some of their bearings and their gears, and their some of the parts are being printed because the parts are a little bit different, a little easier to work with, a little less wear points, et cetera, et cetera. So that'll be something I'll be doing live eventually when I get to it, is the upgrade to the 3.1 VCore for the rat rig. I find the Voron instructions are a little easier. And there's a little bit more of a community out there for Voron. So just so you know, Revo max volumetric flow is 15. That equates to a 0.4 wide line, 0.2 layer height, running at 210 millimeters. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm going to get away with a lot faster than this. So a point, and I think I have my maximum volumetric flow rate set at 15 in my config. I'm pretty sure it's set at 15 in there. I think that's where we set it. Yeah. Let's see. Or do we set the flow rate in the actual config file? I don't remember. Let's look under hot end. Extruder. No. Shows you I know what I'm talking about, right? That's good to know. It's not much flow rate. I expected more. Is E3D making a higher flow version? They'll get to the high flow versions later, yeah. Oh no, flow rate's in my slicer. What am I doing? End of the month is what they're saying. Okay. Well, they just released that, what's it called? But it's on back order already. Obsidian. Okay, my volumetric speed right now is set to 15. Yeah, with a maximum print speed of 300 millimeters a second and volumetric speed 15 millimeters cubed per second. So that's what's set in my slicer. Yeah, you can pre-order it now. LSD? No, not since my high school years. No. Oh, maybe in the college years a bit, but no, not since my house. I'm just kidding. Never tried it myself. Long Schlong Dong. Oh, from BEZ, founder of the. Oh, okay, that's what it means. 80 millimeters cubic per second flow rate. That's pretty fast, right? So, now? Really, what's the advantage of a higher volumetric flow rate? Is that just to keep up with the speed? Is that really the only advantage of it? Yeah. Okay. So obviously, yeah, the faster you go, the higher volume you need through your nozzle. Yeah. Now tell me this: what's the volumetric flow rate of the concrete that they 3D print houses with? Haha. Because those things actually go pretty quick. If you watch those things that 3D print the foundations of houses, that's got some pretty good flow rate through it. And then obviously that's going to depend on the I imagine for that the concrete has to be a very certain viscosity in order to lay down properly and do the job it's supposed to do. Flow rate holds back Voron kinematics. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. So really what you're saying is theoretically what you're saying is that a Voron, theoretically we should have high flow nozzles on a Voron in order to take full advantage of the kinematics that Voron uses. Yeah. At what layer thickness or line width does those affect the flow too? Exactly. Yeah, everything affects flow. Yeah, no, I agree. Myself, depending on what you're doing, speed isn't necessarily a priority for me versus quality. And so what I'm seeing so far on this printer is the quality is incredible. Even at, I mean, what it's printing now is a much higher speed than I'm going to get out of my Focus or my or any of my Creality. Well, I don't have any Crealities left, but it's getting higher speeds than I'm getting out of my Prusas or my Focus or my um, um, I'm having a brain fart, my SR. But but this is giving me really good quality. I mean, this is better quality than I'm getting out of the Prusa Mark III right now. The Mark III probably needs a little bit of tuning, maybe some belt tightening and stuff, but still, you don't have the ability to control the quality settings on those other printers like you do on a printer that's got Clipper running on it. You can put Clipper on all those other printers, yes. So a lot of it is to do with the firmware. Exactly. Yeah. 0.7 wide at 0.32 layer height. Exactly. Quality is important. Yeah. I would not put speed above quality myself. I mean, look at those speed benchies people do. Yeah, you can get the benchy done in 5 minutes, but it looks like crap. And what was the point? Why not just sit there with your nozzle spitting out plastic into a big ooze ball and see who can make the biggest ooze ball the fastest? It's kind of the same thing. Bamboo X1 is supposed to be good, yes. Yeah. They seem to be doing everything right, but again, I'm waiting for the first year to see when they change. They're going to come out with either an updated software, firmware, hardware. They may change something. So, you think they're a serious competitor? For me, Voron is all about the experience of doing the build. I enjoy the build. I really do. And with with a Voron now, if something goes wrong with this, I can probably, if I can't figure it out on my own, with the help of the community, I can figure it out. And then I can go ahead and I can fix it myself. I can go print a new part, or I can go source a new part, or I can take it apart to the point I need to. With the bamboo, if I have a bamboo sitting in front of me and something's going wrong, I can't necessarily just print a part to fix it. I can't necessarily take it all apart and replace a part that I sourced because I have no idea how that thing went together. I know how this Voron went together. So I can confidently fix anything on it. So yeah, for people not interested in DIY, for sure, absolutely. Absolutely. But it's still pricey for me, though. You think a fully loaded bamboo X1 with the filament thing on top, I'm looking over $2,000 Canadian. I'm looking around $2,300 to $2,400 Canadian. That's a lot of money. When you can buy a Voron 2.4, which is a little bigger volume than the bamboo, for just under 2,000 Canadian for a 300 millimeter Voron 2.4. But again, you have to put it together yourself. So, and that's one of the kits. But yeah, they're going to be some bamboo, if they continue what they're doing and if they prove to be good, they're going to be competition for Prusa. Because you figure you're still paying upwards of what, $1,000 or $900 US for a unassembled Mark III, and a few $100s more if you want an assembled Mark III. Now you can get a bare bones bamboo X1 for in around that same price if you don't want the multi-material unit on it or whatever they call their filament thing. And tuning of printers, it wasn't for me a couple years ago. A couple of years ago, I've heard of Voron, but I thought I'm never going to get into that because that's just too much thinking and too much work for me. But the more experience somebody gets, and if they take the hobby seriously, or if they start a YouTube channel and need some, material to stream, then hey, they're gonna get into it and learn how to do it and build one. So, yeah, I cannot tell you. Yeah, there was some frustrating times through this build. I'm not going to lie about it. You guys that were on here through it have seen it. There was some frustrating times, but overall, I really, really enjoyed this build. It has boosted my confidence level in what I'm doing by 5,000%. I really like this. I'm excited for the Trident because I think the Trident, at least in my mind, I think I can do the Trident much easier than I had a time doing the 2.4 because of the experience of it. So they're not that hard. There's a whole lot of them. Exactly. A whole lot of steps. I mean, show me any Voron guy out there. Maybe some of the guys on Team Voron that have been doing this since day one. You could probably slap a kit in front of them and they could just build it without instructions. Probably. But I don't know. Maybe not. I know that Nero, he still reads some instructions when he's doing the builds. But I'm sure that for the most part, they could probably do it blindfolded. It's just a matter of how much experience you have. And when you do things over and over and over, not only do you build muscle memory, you build the brain muscle memory, right? So me, the mistakes I've made on this thing, and I don't remember them all now, but the mistakes I've made, what's going to happen is the brain will trigger. If I come up to a part on the Trident build, I'll go, oh, wait a minute. I remember this on the 2.4, and I remember I screwed this up by doing this. And then that mistake, that's how I kind of learn. I make mistakes and I learn from it. And I try not to make that mistake again. My brain will usually kick in and remember, oh, this was an area that you had made a mistake on. So, hey, pay attention to this one. So when you first started, when you first started, you built using the CAD model. You're really no written instructions, right? Wow. This vase is looking amazing. Oh, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. I think you can see it on there, but boy, that looks nice. The red is awful. I mean, the color is way off compared to what it looks like. That looks almost orange, but it's actually bright red. It's just the bad lighting. But look at that surface on that. It's beautiful. When the light goes over it, oh, that is amazing looking. Manuals were not out at the time. Nope. You've had an amazing journey. It's been great witnessing. I remember you being nervous about soldering. That's true. Thanks so much, Dominic. I go in soldering blindfolded now, pretty much. Yeah, I've gotten much more confident in my soldering abilities. I had to make an extension plug for the back fan on this, the exhaust fan. And I was like, okay, well, get it out, get the solder out, tin these wires, tin this wire, put some shrink wrap on, touch these wires together, boom, boom. It took me 5 minutes, if that, to make an extension cable. So, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're doing an end wire using a CAD model. Okay, cool. And there was no docs.vorondesign.com site. All the info was spread out for installing clipper, flashing, etc. Yeah. Thanks, 3D Experiments. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, exactly. Look at everything that's there today. My problem with finding some of the help online is what to Google, what to search. Usually Zenbender gets on here and has a link before I can even think of going to my browser and doing a Google search. But everything you need is out there. You just have to search for it. Everything is on Google Docs or somebody has done it. Discord is a great place too. I haven't had to go to Discord too much, but I have learned stay away from Facebook. Man, there's quite the crowd in the Facebook Voron group, I tell you that. There's a lot of good people, don't get me wrong, but I've read some stuff where even me, as an inexperienced Voron guy, shake my head and go, seriously? Seriously? Anyways, this print is looking really, really good. Oh, what's all over my monitor here? I was so glad to clean up my studio a little bit. It was a mess. I've still got a long way to go to clean it up, and I'm thinking of I'm going to change my camera angles eventually here. Facebook is a different kind of people. It certainly is. It certainly is. Wow. Waylon, stop it. Come here. Come say hi to everybody. Come here. Get upstairs. Holy crap, I don't want to touch it, but that is smooth. I'm going to let this finish. I wasn't going to let it finish, but I'm going to let it finish. May as well. So this is from Clockspring. Clockspring? Yeah, Clockspring. I am a patron of his Patreon. excuse your French, but there are a lot of douches out there. Some real awesome people too, of course. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's. I mean, I'm fortunate, knock on wood, that everybody that comes to my channel is great people. You are all great people. I don't think I've had a quote unquote douche on my channel yet. People who don't want to use Discord, yeah. What's the layer height? On this one, the layer height is 0.2, and it's a 0.4 nozzle on there. And did I print my own parts? I printed my own parts. So all the parts on this one were printed on the FlashForge Creator 3, which is right beside it, because it's my only other enclosed printer. All the parts for my Trident are going to be printed right here on this one. So I'm going to be doing a PIF. I'm doing a PIF for myself on this one, because from what I understand, you need to print PIF parts on a Voron. So it's going to be a DWIT PIF. Or a PIF DWIT. I'm going to PIF DWIT my parts. This is a great community. It's everybody's community, but I'm so happy to have the people that watch my YouTube. I mean, I've got over 1,500 subscribers now, so I know there's people that watch in the background. Like there's 13 right now, and there's a handful of you guys chatting, but there's people watching it, which is great. Piff Twit sounds dirty, yeah. Piff Twit, Twit Piff. But there's I know, for instance, my buddy Eamon Baines, who owns Matter 3D Filament. When he phoned me on the way home on Friday and talked to me about he's sending me out some industrial ABS. He wants me to show off and try, and I'm going to be using his red for my Trident. So he said to me, he said, I don't watch your live streams. He said, I'm Sunday nights is family night for him, but he says when he's at his office during the week doing work on his printers or whatever, he has my streams playing in the background. He says, I watch all your streams, and he says, I love how you basically, you're honest about it. You make mistakes. You learn from the mistakes. You look up what you need to look up. He says, I really enjoy that versus watching an edited cut video. So I said, I appreciate that. Piff Dwit my parts. I like that. Piff Dwit my parts. What filament is this print? This print is Polymaker Polylite PLA Red from Polymaker. Polymaker, Nicholas of Polymaker sent me 5 rolls of filament. 2 of the rolls of filament are PETG Teal, which is going to reprint all the parts for my rat rig when I do the update for that. We have this PLA red, and then we have an ABS yellow, which I may end up using for the Trident. We'll see. Along with the red I'm getting from Matter 3D. So, and then we have a white, I believe it's a white PETG or a white ABS. No, it's a white PETG. It's Martini Night. Your wife puts up with the live streams. Oh, cool. Very cool. You have a good understanding wife. My wife is out right now with Ethan and her mom and Ethan's cousin. They're out to see a movie. So I'm alone with the dog. This guy right here, who won't come to see me. I think he wants to go outside. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to run and let him out. Let's go. You go outside. Not what you're all whiny about. There we go. This is my little guy. There he is. Look up at the camera. Say hi. Look up at the camera. This is Waylon. Aw, you shy? You shy? You need a haircut. There you go. You want to go now? Hey? You want to go? Okay, you can go. There you go. Don't you mean my wife? Hey, Mark. Yes, your wife number 2 is out with your son at a movie with your mother-in-law. This is a 300. The Trident that LDO is sending me is going to be a 250. And then of course we have the 01s, which are tiny, tiny, tiny. So, oh, good to see you, Mark. It's been a long time. So, he's a cute dog. We love this guy. So, let's go back to this. Actually, what I'll do is maybe I'll put this print. I'll put this print in the upper corner. Let's shift. Is it shift or alt? There, it's alt. And we can put this in the upper corner or over here. And we keep an eye on that thing printing. There we go there. So, yeah. Yeah, the red you're seeing right here is more realistic of the actual color than what you're seeing up on this part right here. That's too orange looking. It's actually a really nice red filament. You printed some pumpkin-shaped covers for an outdoor lamps and Polymaker Orange ASA. Came out great. Yeah, I'm excited to try the Polymaker ABS. And then again, as I say, the stuff that I've got coming from Eamon from Matter 3D, their ABS is supposedly really good. So we're gonna get excited about that. But yeah, as soon as I decide on my color scheme, I've already downloaded all the files for the Trident. So we're going to get we're going to get all the parts started and printed. I don't know if they're going to be sending me a stealth burner upgrade. I think they're going to send the stealth burner upgrade again. I don't know if they're going to have Clockwork 1 or 2 parts for the extruder. And they are definitely sending a clicky probe kit. That's on the bill of materials. So I'll be doing a clicky probe on the Trident as well. Because after seeing the clicky probe thing on this, I'll never go without a clicky probe on a Voron. Actually, I might even... Can you put a clicky probe on a 0.1? No, you don't need one on a 0.1. The bed's too small. So, much too small for a 0.1. Let me raise this camera, or is that just the... Let me pop over here and see if that's... Oh, that's just this. Let me get a little more height on this. Wrong button. No. There it is there. Okay, I just got to raise that camera a bit. Let me just raise this. Too many clicky variants. You don't know which one to use. Well, I use the fixed clicky mount. My first one I printed was the fixed mount, the L-shaped fixed mount, and it wouldn't line up with where the probe was attaching to the bottom of the stealth burner. So I ended up going ahead and printing the variable height clicky mount, and then basically played with it until with clicky, I find that it's just it's trial and error. You have to plug in your numbers until it's just right. You use a servo to rotate the dock for pickup and then drop off the probe. Same with the switch wire. Oh, that would be cool. I have servos. I have a lot of servos, so that might be cool to try. Let me raise this a bit. Whoops, that's too much. There we go. So we can see the upper part of this print going. But for those of you that weren't here earlier, we just finished today getting the final touches on this Voron 2.4. We did the tuning is all done. We moved it to its new home here. So we did the input shaper because it was on a new, more solid surface. So we were also able to update our acceleration speed to 11,000 from 10. and the Y acceleration was allowed up to 16,000. Remember, yesterday we were lucky. I think it hit just over 11 or 12, so it's a much more stable surface. Oh, you don't run one on your V01? No, you don't need one on the V01. The bed's too small. You got a 3-point leveling, and then it's a really quick Z offset calibration if you need to change your bed. It's very quick to do the Z offset calibration, so it hasn't been a big deal. You have the TH3D capacitance. I can't even say that word. Probe on all your printers. Been solid. That's awesome. What I like about this clicky though is, and you guys all know this, but I love to mention it, is that I can change to the textured bed. I had put the new hot end on because, of course, I bent the first Revo nozzle. It was a mistake, so we put a new hot end on. I didn't have to touch anything to do with my Z offset, and with the clicky probe and the Z calibrate configuration, it first layers have been perfect every single time. Only leveled the bed twice on your 01. Yeah. Okay, Mark, saw you there. Popped in to say hi, Ford boy. Say hi to my wife too and baby. I will, Mark. Thank you there, May Chevy man. And I look forward to seeing you with that big front grille Chevy truck that we showed you the picture of. So you have a good night. Say hi to Pam for me, okay? Miss you guys. And we got to get together sooner than later. It's been 3 years, I think, since we've seen you guys. So we got to see. I know with the pandemic and all that stuff, but we got to get together. You guys got to come over. You got to come check out my studio. It's because of you that I've got all this. I hope you know that. You were the beginning of this whole thing. So you got to come over and see it. Talk to you later. Yep, I met Mark through Maria, and Mark was into 3D printing. And I had not really seen much about 3D printing, and saw his setups and said, hey, I like this. And then it just went from there. I used fuzzy skin mode in Cura. Yes, I have. I don't use Cura much. Yeah, Mark, I blame this all on you. I really do. But it's been a fun ride so far, and it's only just beginning. 2,000 subscribers by 2023, guys. That's my goal. That's less than 500 to go, so spread the word. Fuzzy skin and Cura. Yes, I've got Cura. I don't use Cura much. I'm now on to Super Slicer and or Prusa Slicer or Super Slicer, whichever one happens to suit which printer. I use Prusa Slicer for the Prusas. I use Super Slicers for the Vorons, and then I just figure it out for the other printers. But I've tried the fuzzy skin, and it works actually good. I did a tiny little elephant with fuzzy skin, and it actually really works really well. So I think they have a fuzzy skin feature in Super Slicer as well, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think I saw it in the new Prusa Slicer, the new version of Prusa Slicer too. If I go print settings, I think that's under filament settings, isn't it? No, it's not. It'd be under print settings. Under infill. No. I'm sure I saw it somewhere outside of Cura. Fuzzy skin. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I thought I did and I didn't. Skirt and rim, sport material, speed, no. Perimeters and shell, no. Anyways, I haven't really looked around in Super Slicer a whole lot. So I really need to do some more learning of Super Slicer. Vase and fuzzy skin would look really good. Exactly why you love your easy ABL. Yeah. Okay, so the TH3D probe allows you to switch printed surfaces, even glass, without recalibrating. That's awesome. That's what every printer needs. I know a lot of people, I've heard of a lot of stories, and I even know a couple people that have tried 3D printing. They can't get that first layer right. They think there's something wrong with the printer because they can't get their Z offset calculated right, or their bed's not perfectly level or something, and they give up on it. And it's like, I don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. They'll sell their printer. They'll do whatever. And I think just like the Bamboo Labs has now, just like what this is doing with the Clicky, I think all printers that come out should eventually be able to, so the user can just plug it in, have a fixed bed that's relatively good and level, have one of these kind of probes or one of these kind of systems that just says, okay, here we go. The bed is level. You don't have to worry about your Z offset, nothing. So quitters, well, quitters, but they don't know enough about the hobby. They get into it thinking it's a plug and play machine. So what's the variance in XABL? Exable. They don't even know what right looks like. Yeah, that's true, but it doesn't stick, or it sticks for the first few layers, then it moves, right? So that's why if you have a printer that just does that for you, yeah, exactly, yeah. I was one of them when I first started. I had a CR20 Pro. First thing I did was jam the nozzle into my bed on one of those dumb flexible magnetic, and it killed the sheet. It was done. It was done, toast in the middle. Little did I know then that I could have sliced a model and moved it off to the side or to one of the corners. I didn't know enough back then, right? And then I didn't know I just bought it thinking it was going to be easy to work. I read through the manual and then ran into these issues and then said, you know what? Then I started Googling. Then I started to find YouTubers. Then I started to, then we went from there. So you don't use the heat bed when printing PLA. Okay. As long as you have good bed adhesion, you don't need heat for PLA. But I just use it because it's there. I have a heated bed. Let's heat it. It's not going to cost me a crap load in electricity. Blue tape. Glue stick, blue tape, anything like that. Yeah. Look at the mini belt or the baby belt that I was just on Jerry's stream with him today. Dang, I'm terrible with names. There's so many names out there. Look at the baby belt printers. They don't have heaters in them, and then you can go to Walmart or wherever and buy your fabric, your cotton fabric, and that's what's used on that baby belt, and the filament sticks to it. You're only going to print PLA, but the filament sticks to it, right? So you don't need a heated bed for PLA necessarily. I use the heated bed because I choose to. I have it. I'm using it, and I also use for larger pieces. I will put some nanopolymer adhesive down, and because I want to guarantee my corners are not going to pop up on a 24-hour print when I want them to be flat. So Rob Mink, thank you, Chris. It was Rob Mink. Yeah, your brother. We think he's your brother. Yeah, Rob Mink was on Jerry's stream that does the baby belt, right? I'm positive the baby belt does not have a heated bed. I'd be surprised if it does, but it doesn't, and it uses a cotton fabric, and the PLA sticks to the cotton fabric. So it'll cost a lot of money now if you're in Europe. Oh, electricity. I guess it depends on what part of the world you're in. So brims, there's nothing wrong with brims. I'll use brims if I'm struggling with something for sure. Uncoated spring steel with Elmer's purple glue stick. Yep. I have a crap load of Elmer's purple glue stick over on my shelf over here somewhere. I'm going to use that next time I try and run high temperature polycarbonate. Or polycarbonate nylon. I could not get that stuff to stick for the life of me. And my good friend Richard Cleveland said, try purple glue stick. That's what I'm going to try next time. And that's what I'm running. Well, I'm running this spring steel here is coated, actually. It's got the, I believe this is the PEI coating. This is just a Wham Bam sheet that I forgot I had that just happened to fit this printer. It's not the perfect size, but it fits this printer enough. So, and it's got the PEI coating on it, and it works fine. Richard's doing good. He's I don't know if he's going to be on tomorrow. He's in the middle of this weekend he was painting his studio. He is basically emptied his studio out. He's painting it, and he is redoing everything in his studio. So I don't know if he's going to be back on this weekend or when he's coming back on for his regular Sunday. He is doing the filaments. He works for filaments.ca right now. So he is working on the filaments.ca YouTube and doing videos for them. As far as his Ask for Help videos, I think they're coming back soon, but I know he is in the middle of renovating his studio. You've been using Vision Minor nanopolymer mixed 1-to-1 with IPA for a couple of years. Oh, really? Does it work really well mixed 1-to-1? That would obviously make it go a lot further because it's not cheap stuff, but it does last a long time. I'll have to try that. I've got a couple more bottles. I'll have to try that. Diluted is actually a great value. Okay, diluted with IPA. That's good to know. I'm going to try that. Thank you for that tip. We're getting near the top of this vase. Let me zoom it out a little bit here so we can see the top. Oh, wrong way. There we go. And I think that's focused right there. Let me switch that to the bigger screen and just see. Yeah, I think that's focused right there. Okay. We are getting to the point where it's almost done. Let's see. It is 18 minutes left. Too good. Okay. It's the colors, John Smith. Hello. The color is more like you're seeing right here. It's more of a red. The color on this camera right here is awful. It's way off. It's more of a dark red. It's the this is the Polylight from Polymaker, the red PLA. What wall thickness did I print at? This is point. Oh, good question. I think I printed at a point. Why is this? I'm just curious. Oh, the exclude object feature works even if there's one object on your bed. That's funny. What wall thickness? Oh, I already got rid of the model. Oh, but I think I'm using a 0.4 wall thickness. It's just one layer. It's a single layer. It's vase mode. So it is. Yeah, it's 0.2, 0.4. It's running vase mode, so it's a single wall. You can print vase mode at 0.8 with a 4mm nozzle. I guess I could have. It would just be more squish, wouldn't it? Yeah. This is okay. This is not the kind of vase you're going to throw water and flowers in. This is decorative vase for dry flowers or whatever. But it's looking good. Man, it's looking good. Oof. That is so nice. It's going to be very thin and fragile, but it looks good. So. Gives a stronger sidewall when you need it. Yeah. I could easily throw. I have, because that's a Revo, I could throw the point. What sizes do I have? Let me see real quick. They're color coded, and the only color I know is the only thing I know is that the red on the Revo nozzles is 0.4. That's the only one I know. So I have a green, which is if you pull the rubber off, you can read it. So I have a 0.8. So green is 0.8. Okay, and then I have a blue. Blue, who can tell me what blue is? Blue is 0.6. So yellow is going to be probably 0.2. Yellow is 0.25. Okay. So I could throw a 0.8 nozzle on there and put a 0.8 nozzle and run a 0.16 wall in vase mode. So yellow is 2.5, blue is 0.6, green is 0.8. And then, hey, y'all saw that I straightened out that one bent nozzle, right? And it seems to, I haven't printed with it yet, and I haven't put it on anything yet, so I have a whole spare Voron hot end for this. Maybe I'll throw it on one of my 01s. But I went ahead and I think I straightened that out really well because when I roll it on the desktop, I see no bend in it at all. So it's quite possible I salvaged that nozzle. We'll see. We'll try that one time. Because it goes in here, no problem, no twisting, no difficulty. And then when you hold it up, it does not look bent at all like it did when I took it out when it was bent. So pretty cool. 0.5 was the original standard back in the day. Back in the day. And then I still have the original. That's the original 0.4. Didn't come with a sock from the very first beta version of the Revo nozzle. There's nothing on it that's... Oh, I don't think it's a 0.4. I think it's a 0.6. There's nothing on this that tells me what size this nozzle is other than I look at the hole and say, that looks like about a 0.6. And if I compare it to the blue one, oh shit, you know what? That might even be a 0.8. That's a 0.8. Because there's nothing on the nozzle, but if you look at the tips, will that focus? Yeah, that looks like about... The green is a 0.8, and if you look at the other one, that's about the same size. So that's about a 0.8. Okay. So that's good to know. And the tip is just a little different shape than the release nozzles that they've got out now. So, but this should still work. It's got everything except the silicone sock on it. But it doesn't say anywhere that I can see what size it is. Yeah, so that's why. Yep, there we go. Hey, Mike, how are you, sir? Welcome, welcome, welcome. This vase is just about finished. 11 minutes. Everybody's hit that like button, I take it. I think. Let's see. How many like buttons are punched here? 11 likes, 17 watching. Okay, I'm not a big genius at math, but I'll take it. 17 watching, and there we go. Who else is live tonight? Not many. Oh yeah, Nero's still live with 239 people. He's still going. I like watching his streams. He got a $50 donation from Project Red. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. 14 likes now. Thank you, John Smith. Thank you, Mike. You're naked? Oh, yeah, that was a naked Revo nozzle. That was from the very first beta. They didn't ship the first beta with socks. Yeah, socks. Yeah. So really, your Revo has two socks because it's got the hot end sock, the heater cartridge sock, and the nozzle sock. So, and that's what's printing right here is the Revo nozzle on this guy. You clicked like twice. Good for you. There you go. You liked it so much you clicked it twice. Look at that. We're down to 19 likes now. That's appreciated, guys. Even if you give me a thumbs down because you think this is just such a terrible stream, I don't care. YouTube, it's all about the YouTube algorithms and participation, right? And the thumbs down is still participation. So, and the two socks are mismatched. Well, oh yeah, okay. I wouldn't show everybody this, but there's my right foot. There's my left foot. I have mismatched socks on today. I was lazy this morning. So I have Revo socks. Let's call it that, Revo socks. Boy, this vase looks good, but it looks very fragile. Well, we've been going just over 2 hours, so we're going to let this vase finish. And I think I'm going to save any more work for tomorrow. I have really nothing. I have another pair just like them. I do. Somewhere. Although, maybe. Sometimes I get a hole in one sock. I'll throw the one sock out. And then I'll, and I'm like, you know what? I wear shoes all day. Nobody's going to see my socks. Really, nobody's going to see my socks. So if I have a mismatch, I don't care. And if I'm in, your mom says always wear clean underwear in case you're in an accident. Well, if I'm in an accident, the last thing I'm going to worry about is, I hope nobody sees my mismatched socks. So, and depending on the severity of the accidents, most people soil themselves anyways if you're in an accident. So there's always that. So we don't have to worry about that part of it. So how did this get to that topic? Anyways, so yeah, we're going to stream tomorrow at my standard time, 5:00 probably. Plain white and your board. Well, that's good. That way you don't have to worry about matching them up and whatever. So yeah, nothing wrong with that. I'm not one of these. I know I work downtown Calgary. Okay, you have these. I don't even know what are they called now. Gen X's, Gen Y's. I've lost touch of them. Anyways, the ones that are in their 20s or whatever, they wear their pants about this much too short, and then they have their socks. It's a fashion thing, right? They have these fancy Argyle, whatever socks or whatever it is, and they have the pants that are this much too short. So you can basically see their ankles and their socks. It's a fashion thing. So you want matching socks and perhaps you want matching socks, but I wear jeans down to my shoes and I wear jeans every day. So millennials, thank you, millennials. Yeah. The skids in your underwear will outshine the mismatched socks. Exactly, John Smith. Yeah, but I don't know. The millennials, there's a thing where their pants are about, 6-7 inches too short. At least I think they're too short. And then their socks. And it's a fashion show for socks lately. So, iGen. There we go. I am baby boomer. Pure and simple. I turned 60 in less than, holy crap, 15. I turned 60 in 15 days. I wear jeans. I wear jeans and whatever I wear on the top. And that's my fashion statement. If I'm going out for my dinner, I'm going on my 60th, which is on the Sunday I won't be streaming. I may wear some nice black pants and a golf shirt. So climate change equals flooding and high water. We used to call those floods, right? When I was a teenager, it was like, oh, like your floods, because if your jeans were too short when you washed them and you shrunk them, you got made fun of because you're wearing floods. Now they're in fashion. So who knows? High water pants. Yeah, exactly. There you go. You look down on like you're a poor family. You're wearing floods. They are not millennials. I am a millennial and you're 36. Well, what are they then? Are they is it iGen? It's probably iGen. You turned 60 in February, John Smith. Hey, we're practically the same age. Look at that. I don't feel 60. People tell me I don't look 60. I feel in my 30s. I have piss loads of energy. When I was young and I would see 50-year-olds and 60-year-olds, I would think, man, they're old. And I've met people that are younger than me that look a lot older than me. So I think it's all a matter of how you take care of yourself. I take vitamins every day. Yeah, I'm fat, but I'm fat but healthy, if you want to put it that way. I work, I read, I keep my mind sharp. I build Vorons to keep my mind sharp. So, and I'm always learning. Feel like a kid. Exactly. Did I graduate in 81? I graduated high school when I was 17 years old. So that's 62, 72, 79. I went to 3 years of college. So I graduated college in 82. High school in 79 and college in 82. So, yeah, in Toronto. I grew up in Toronto. You're a boomer, 60 back in March, but you tend to act more like a Gen X. Exactly, Mike. Me too. So you're around the same age as John and I. Yeah, look at that. I'm a boomer. I think we're the last of the great boomers. Because what was boomers? Up to 63 or something like that? Yeah. They all grew up with iPods and iPhones and iPads, so we call them iGen. Oh. Okay, Gen Z, I think, is the official term. iGen. I like that, the iGen. So Ethan is 6 years old. What would he be? What is this? I don't know what he would be considered. I don't know if they've come up with a name for that group yet. We are at 3 minutes until complete. We are at 96% printing, guys. You're a boomer. I'm a boomer. You're a boomer. He's a boomer. She's a boomer. Wouldn't you like to be a boomer too? Be a boomer. Drink. Anyways, that's an old Dr. Pepper commercial. Whatever. I'm in a mood. That's okay. Up to 64. Okay. And I was a 62 baby. I'm the baby of my family. I'm my mama's baby. Mama's gone, but I was mama's baby. So there we are. We are at 97%. We are at layer 825 of 850. Two. It looks deliciously good. I got to be careful taking it off because it is very thin wall. I wish the red would show what it really is. Like this camera's making it way too orange. If I darken this, watch. If I darken the, if I close the lens, there we go. That's closer to the actual color that is. That's better. That's better. Dr. Pepper. I used to drink Dr. Pepper. I can't drink sugar drinks anymore. I used to love Dr. Pepper, but because of my diabetes, I have to stay off of sugared pop. So, yeah. I drink Coke Zero. I know the aspartame or whatever's in it is probably not good for me, but at least I'm not getting my carbs. So, stay off the sugar as much as I can, but I have a weakness. Excuse me, I have a weakness for bread. Yeah, this looks really nice. We're almost done. Yeah. Then we'll take a look at it and see what's going on. Okay, Crapstar, good night. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. We're going to be wrapping it up in about, as soon as this vase is done and we'll have a look at it, I'm going to wrap it up and I will, we'll do some more printing tomorrow night and just some more discussion. And I want to have a look at the, a few more of the settings, et cetera, but we'll do some more printing and just tomorrow night's just going to be like a print and hang out and talk about what's coming and so forth. So if you're around, I'm on at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time tomorrow. And we are almost done, 99%. Layer 845 of 850. Layer 846 of 850. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Layer 847 of 850. How many layers are left? Reeds and Virgil's has some great tasting no sugar sodas here in the USA. Oh, that'd be great. I hear they're coming out with a sugar-free Slurpee up here eventually, but when, I don't know. Okay, one more layer, guys, and we're done. And it should be finished right about there. There we go. Look at that. It finished. It parked the head. Dun, da, da, da. Let's pull it out. It's a hot bed, but what the heck? Oh, here, we'll look at it before we take it off the bed. But hey, have a look. Look at the surface of that. Look how clean that printed. Holy crap. And that's going at 100 millimeters a second. Whoop! Yeah, drop it and break it. A beer Slurpee. Yeah. This looks beautiful. Oh. Let's see if this camera will pick it up. It makes it a little more red than it should be, but got a little bit of stringing going on inside, but that's okay. Anyways, let me get it off the bed. There we go. Oh, it's not so bad. It's very light. But holy crap, does that look good? Ignore the color. Look at that. I mean, you don't get much better than that. That is incredibly clean. And there's the bottom. Nice squish on the bottom layer there. And if we look inside, little bit, tiny bit of stringing, but not bad. Nothing to really worry about. Look at that. I'd call that a really well-tuned printer. Oh, I love that. That is incredibly smooth. Very fragile though. Maybe I'll try one with a bigger nozzle. There's one little string right there. If that is good, is it airtight? Not at all. Wisping. Yeah, a little bit of wisping. It's not really stringing because it's vase mode, right? So it was one continuous strand of filament. It's just, it's too bad. The color is, that is not an accurate color at all. That is more accurate right there as far as the red goes. So yeah, this looks orange, but yeah, it's darker red. I find reds are really hard to show accurate on the camera. So, but that's it. That's us. Now let's see what this camera shows it as. Let's see, just for fun. Oh, that's better. Hang on. That is more like the red color it's supposed to show. Yeah. But again, really hard to see. Yeah, this is about the red it's supposed to be right here. This is almost looking like fluorescent red, but it's a very bright red. It's Polymaker Polylite PLA red. So, and if I zoom right in, and I can actually probably zoom in on the layer lines here. Well, it's really hard to see the layer lines because it's such a clean print. So, yeah. Yep, I'm going to say goodnight too. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out and watching me do this. And it's been great talking to everybody. I will be on again tomorrow night for my regular Sunday stream, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We will print some more, and we'll go from there. So, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful Saturday night. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bye for now. Thank you very much for hanging out. Talk to you later.